okay, it blocks droplets, it can do this, it can do that. I'm not saying it doesn't have any impact, but what they're not weighing in is, okay, let's be honest about it. Let's look at the studies and the data and say, what positive impacts does mask have on stopping the spread of a virus? Okay, once we have that data, what they're ignoring, and they're ignoring with lockdowns and masking, is what is the collateral damage? How is this going to affect children 10 years down the road when they don't know their mother's smile, when they don't know what it's like to facially communicate? Part of growing up, you're learning not just by what people are saying, but you're learning crying and smiling. This is part of human development. They have stunted human development for a generation by abusing these children and then trying to censor people when say that they're abusing the children. You're abusing the children, you psychopaths. I don't care how much you censor. I don't care how much you cut into my income. I don't care what you try to do to me. You guys are child abusers. You are full-blown psychopaths, and you have abused a generation of children to have part of communication cut off. The part with smiling and frowning and seeing and reading people's facial expressions, that's been really cut off from their development. And it's going to stunt their growth as human beings, just like, anything like that would. So what are the negative impacts? What are the negative physical impacts, mental impacts, and psychological impacts? And then what are the pros of mask, and weigh that and come to a decision, is it really worth it? This is something that we've not been allowed to do because they've been doing a one-way street of censorship and acting like there's nothing bad. Well, it's a little bad, but just put up with it. Yeah, say that if your job gets shut down. Say that if your business gets shut down. Say that if you go into poverty. Say that if somebody that you know commits suicide. Say if you know somebody who died of opioids that would have been focused on school or work that you shut down, then it really matters. You act like none of this stuff matters. It does matter. So it's just unbelievable, one, that they've been doing this, and two, really, I don't like to play the victim. People have been allowing them to do that with complacency. It's like, well, I'm just going to walk through this, and it's like, why? Why not ask questions? Why not stand up for children? Why not stand up for yourself and your family? Like, this is some serious stuff going on. This is an experiment of psychological abuse that we've never witnessed. What they're doing by having a, no offense, but not in shape, premier, Doug Ford, shutting down gyms in the middle of winter. You think that this doesn't have implications negatively, physically, mentally, and psychologically? If you don't see the negative impact that this is having, you're an idiot, or you're brainwashed, or I don't know what to tell you. You listen to too much idiots talk or something, but it's not really debatable. It does have on millions of people a negative psychological, mental, and physical impact. Of course, it could have a positive one on some. Maybe they didn't like their job and needed a break, but we need to have an honest conversation about all of this. And what Aaron Rodgers said, that science that can't be questioned is propaganda, he's totally correct. And what we're seeing right now is a combination of, some people call it fascism, some people call it communism, some people call it this. I don't care what you call it, whether you're right or wrong, as long as you know what they're doing is tyrannical and authoritarianism. It's a new brand of medical authoritarianism that goes across both parties, and it's put people on defense mode where you get one side of it just fully wants to treat you like an animal and like a peasant, and the other side of it just sells, injections like a candy man and tells you, yeah, just get it, but freedom or whatever. And it's like, what about having an honest conversation about the collateral damage of all of this stuff? This is real science. I don't care how much you lie about it. I don't care how much you censor. Blood is on your hands, and God's karma, or whatever you want to call it, what comes around goes around, for ignoring this conversation. I'm not trying to blame everyone.